So my middle child has really not put forth the work effort and the ethic that he should in school this past semester. And so my husband and I kind of get called into the principal's office to talk about how can we work as a team, us and the teachers and the principal, to get this kid back on track. And part of that conversation, that they were giving us tips on things that we can do at home to kind of help undergird that. And so I go home and I'm talking to him about it. I'm like, listen, I said, your behavior is a reflection on us and our parenting skills. So when you go and you shirk off responsibility, it makes people think that we're just not responsible parents, not teaching you how to be a responsible kid. I said, is there something that we could be doing better to kind of set you up for success? And he's like, no. And he was like, and it's not fair that they think that this is your fault. I'm not telling them it's not your fault that I'm lazy. And I said, well, tell me a little bit about that. Don't you think that it's kind of our fault? And he said, it would be like saying that a baker is 100% responsible for how their bread turns out. And I said, well, don't you think that a baker is responsible for how their product turns out? He said, no. He said, a baker can control the oven temperature. He can control the ingredients that he puts in it. He can control how he molds it, but he can't control what happens to the yeast when it gets in. He can't control the yeast. And God started speaking to me about that. And I said, you know what? You're right. Daddy and I can control your environment. We can teach you right from wrong. We can pour into you spiritually. We can set you up for success. But we cannot control the yeast that you put into your life and how that changes the product that we're trying to create. And so I'll be honest with you, it took a little bit of pressure off of me, because it brought me to the realization that I am raising adults. They're going to be adults someday. And I cannot control their behavior. I can teach them right from wrong. I can set the temperature in our home. They can know the expectations. We can be good role models for them, but I cannot control their behavior. I really can't. I can't make their decisions for them, right? I can't control the yeast. And so then God started making me do a self-examination, because he was like, you're a reflection of me. You're a reflection of your daddy. What's the yeast that you're allowing in your life that's changing the dynamic of the product that I'm creating? And I'm having to take an examination of that. What am I allowing into myself that's influencing me and then eventually coming out of me that's a reflection on Daddy? Because other people are looking and they do the same thing. So I urge you, if you're a parent out there and your kids are left of center, take a little bit of pressure off. They're going to mess up, right? Take responsibility. Control the temperature in your home. Teach them right from wrong, but realize they are human beings and they are going to mess up and they're going to do things that you just can't control. Love them through it. Walk them through it. But then take a self-examination of the yeast that you're putting in yourself. Carve some things out that need to be carved out, because you are also a reflection of your daddy.